So far, it was largely the philosophers who studied human consciousness, but a serious effort to understand consciousness and walk the path towards ultimate reality was made at the MIT World Peace University in the form of the world's first conference on consciousness, the ultimate reality. Many eminent personalities, speakers, thinkers, and philosophers from all over the world share their thoughts on this subject during this conference. The second session was based on matter, mind, spirit, and consciousness. Experienced psychiatrist Dr K.Raghu made an interesting presentation on mind and consciousness.
Now, when you do meditation, there are 5 stages of refinement of the consciousness which can be felt by everybody, whoever does the meditation. The first stage is that you feel that you are totally lost, and unfortunately, many of the people think that feeling lost in meditation is the highest, and that confusion is there in many people. So, the first stage is that you are actually going to feel lost. You don't know where you are, you don't know what you are doing. Then in the next stage, you maintain certain degree of awareness. There is a degree of lightness that you can experience at the end of the meditation. That is because the samskara load is now gradually coming down. The third stage of refinement is when you can feel an attribute of the consciousness. Depending on which part of the journey you are in, at some places you can feel peaceful, at some places you feel more joy, at other places you will feel calmness or contentment. So, different attributes of the consciousness can be felt at different stages. Then the fourth stage is the attribute also now disappears. There is only a stillness. You feel that nothing much is happening, but you are aware, but nothing much is happening. The last stage is where you feel everything, even that stillness is gone, you feel empty, that everything is gone. Now this is where most of the people, this is the fullness, stage of fullness or the stage of nirvana or the emptiness that Buddhists talk about, and the stage of fullness that the Vedanta talks about. Then how do we progress along this kind of consciousness? I mentioned about 11 stages of consciousness. How do we progress along those lines? It is nothing but intensification of the energy that you direct to. The more energy you direct to a particular thing, the more intensified it becomes, the more concrete the consciousness becomes. Now where is this energy coming from? This energy is infinite. It is there everywhere. Science also says there is infinite energy. You focus that energy onto something, and that makes that particular thing concrete. There is a saying that yad bhavam tad bhavati. So when you focus your energy on a particular bhava, that actually manifests. Now, that is the bhavati that you are talking about. This is in terms of our region. In most of the literature, we only talk about the consciousness at an individual level and the cosmic consciousness, and that's where the journey ends. But as I said earlier on, the consciousness itself can be taken as to the highest, where it only remains as awareness. So in our system, that's where we gradually dwell into. There are 5-6 stages. Understanding from the chakra point of view, up to the 6th point, we call it as mukti. From the 6th point on to the Agna chakra on to the Sahasradal, 7th chakra, we call that as the cosmic region. Then beyond that is the divine region. Beyond that is the ultimate or the Bhuma region. Now, I'll just go through 1 or 2 aspects of where science is at. As far as, now this is in terms of the understanding based on experience. Is there anything that we do in terms of objectively measuring all these things? The main instrument that they have actually used is in terms of EEG. They have used EEG across many different types of meditation over the past many years now, and they have been able to notice that when a person meditates, they have bursts of deep sleep. Awareness is maintained, but the bursts of deep sleep is there, and they have the whole range of the waves that you see here, different levels of the waves. But generally, alpha and gamma seems to kind of predominate. But when they go into deep meditation, they go into this delta activity. So the reason why they actually have enhanced level of concentration outside the meditation, because people think that they have to meditate, concentrate during meditation. They don't need to concentrate during meditation. Concentration is an outcome of successful meditation. So this is the perspective where they have actually tried to relate the frequency of the waves that we see on the EEG onto the different learning aspects or the functioning of the brain. I don't want to dwell into that particular aspect now. Last slide, coming to What are the limitations in the current approach that we have got as far as studying consciousness is concerned? We rely on usage of instruments where you want the external to be projected. Whatever is happening internally needs to be projected outside. So you are relying on an instrument, and unfortunately we have not been able to get hold of an instrument which can actually successfully do that fully. So our ability to feel is lot more better than what the instruments can pick up. Second one is in terms of, I said there are 250 types of meditation. How do you replicate these studies? If you use different types of meditation, it should be replicable. The third one is there are multiple approaches to consciousness. I just mentioned about 18 dimensions of consciousness, and people can approach consciousness in any way that they want. Then how do you actually make it standardized? The fourth one is that each system works at different levels. I said 250 systems are there. In these 11 or 12 steps of consciousness that I gave, each system works at different level. Last one is the starting point of each of the subject is different as their baggage is different. So suppose all the people who are sitting here were to start meditation today, what will be the experience? Each one will experience a different state. Why is that you experience different state? Because you are all starting at a different point. The baggage that you got in this life in terms of your own education, in terms of family upbringing, in terms of the culture, religion, language, everything plays a role. So because of that, the experience will be totally different. So thank you very much for your patient listening. I will be around. We will take question and answer session at the end of the session. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Humans were resembling mouse. 99.9% humans and mouse were alike.